What about falling in love with Bitcoin? Isn't that dangerous too? Since we were mentioning about the altcoins and all that stuff. And I have to ask you, Da Vinci, since you are so heavily invested on Bitcoin, would you recommend anyone in the public to be so like 100% into it like you do?
Yes,
Yes?
right away. Yes, yes. But I don't think they will. Most people will not, and that's. What would you say, right? I didn't when Bitcoin was at $1. I wanted to go all in, right? And I didn't, right? I wanted to, and I didn't. And what was because the recommendation at the time was, never put more than 2% in a highly speculative asset, right? So I did that. I only did the 2%, right? Which was not a lot, right? But still, um, the 2% is what I did, and I regret not doing that because I knew where this thing was going, right? And now that we've seen corporations putting this on a balance sheet and talking about putting it on a balance sheet, and then the people who run those corporations, you think they might, I don't know, have someone on their personal balance sheet, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is only growing exponentially, right? We see the long term. If if you have savings for the long term, right? For example, your retirement fund, right? And you're like, if you're like in your 20s or 30s, going all in, right, on Bitcoin. Let's just say I'm completely wrong, right? Pretend that that Bitcoin's going to fail sometime in the future. Let's pretend that that's the case, and you're in your 20s or 30s, right? Is it going to be the end of you? Well, some people will feel that it is, but it's not. You still have the ability to work and produce for quite some time. But the high reward for if it is right, which I believe there's a 99.9% chance that it's right, um, it's asymmetrical, meaning that it's just like the odds, the small amount, what you could lose, right, which is your retirement savings, and you can build that back up again, against the amount you'd win is just so ginormous, that it's just it's worth the risk, especially since the percentage chance, I believe, of a failure is less than 1%, way less than 1%. It's just not worth not taking that risk. Right? There is a percentage chance that an asteroid could come and wipe out 90% of the planet, 90% of the population of the planet. But do you prepare for that event?
No.
There is a less than 1% chance of that, right? Still, that could happen, like 0.001, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody prepares for that, right? So why are you preparing for a 001 event on Bitcoin?
Makes
Consider
sense.
that. I mean, it's possible, right? It's not impossible for Bitcoin to fail, right? It's 0.001. It's not impossible that, you're going to get wiped out by an asteroid or some other event, right? It is possible that something else happens to you, like a nuclear bomb, we have a nuclear winter, but you just don't prepare for those things, right? Those edge cases. So again, now Bitcoin's failure is an edge case. Why are you preparing for it? Consider that.
I'm still more conservative than you then. I'm a little bit more chicken about it.
Okay.
But it makes sense what you're saying. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is your hypothesis of the failure? So a problem in the only
No,
failure.
I'm not saying that the coin is going to fail. Not at all. because I believe in Bitcoin. I'm just saying, okay, I'm not going to invest my life savings when Bitcoin is on 60K, right? Doesn't make that much sense to me if I look at the chart and stuff. I know, you explained me that this time is different, that the chart is not represented exactly, right, when we are in the cycle and all that stuff, but I gotta apply all that I learned and say, okay, I cannot like heavily invest in a market like this one, right? I think most
Yeah,
people think that way.
that's right. That's right. Right. If we bring up a chart right now, he's right. He has a point. You look at a chart like this, you're going, but Mr. D, right, with an altcoin, you would never buy an altcoin up here. Never, 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 never. There is no way in hell I'd buy an altcoin like looking like this, right? Not a chance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why is that? But why do I say, yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, you should. What's the
Well,
difference?
because you're expecting it to go way higher when on an icon you're expecting for it to die because you know that 90% of the time you're going to die.
Exactly. 90% of all altcoins are going to die, right? So you don't want to buy the top of the market. You don't know where the top of the market before it dies is on an altcoin. So you don't want to be buying up here, right? You want to be buying the lows so that you can sell the highs. Whilst Bitcoin, what's the probability of its dying again? Once again, right?
It's
Zero,
very low.
very low. So, buying up here, or waiting for a pullback to the 13 AMA, which we've been waiting for like 23 weeks so far, which
Oh my God,
hasn't done so,
crazy.
is also a possibility, right? You can wait for that. Um, but the overall, we all know where the trajectory of this is going. We just, you know it. Why is that? Why is that? It's because we've had a system that abused people for the longest while. For the longest while, and now we have a system that no longer that prevents the government and central bankers and banks from abusing us again and ever again. Don't you think that system is going to do well?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Because we are supporting freedom.
exactly, exactly. So whether you buy it here, like for example, we're at exactly the level, right? Approximate level when Bitcoin was at $50, right? Like just pretend, just drop three zeros, right? Bitcoin was at $50 and it was doing something like this, right? If we go back in time, right? It was doing exactly something like this, and people were like, "Nah, man, I gotta short that." Well, what did it do? What did it do from $50 when it was rising from $2 to $50? Did it just stop at $50?
No.
No, it went all the way up to 266. So let me see if I can bring that up. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, hang on a second.
So this question really got us going, right?
Yeah, exactly. And look, let's take a look at how many what's it called? Bars, time bars. How many weekly bars above the 13 AMA that this thing stayed above? Because it was like the bull run to end bull runs. Hang on. I remember seeing this and going, man, there's no way this is happening. So it started right here. So it's 11 bars, right? Went only 11 bars above the 13 before it hit the 13 EMA. I know we're at the 23 bars, and it's like ridiculous, right? It seems ridiculous when we when you look at it. But you have to look at it in the light of the fact that the Federal Reserve has went like pedal to the metal on, and same with all central banks, pedal to the metal on the printing. Right, they went from a 6% increase in the money supply to an annual increase in the money supply to a 25% increase in the money supply. So you have to look at it in that context, right? I bet you if we minus out the 20%, that's right. If we minus out the 20%, somehow, the percentage gains in the currency, we might be able to see Bitcoin actually have pullbacks back to the 13 EMA. If we get to pull that off with some sort of like algorithm. But anyways, my point being, right, is like, we're like right here. Like $50. Right? We saw pullbacks, right? We saw, price like going crazy, right? Breaking down, right? Let's just say it wasn't exactly $50, but let's just say it was like $50. Yeah, it was like $50. And so we got pullbacks for the week. And yeah, it was very, very, very volatile. But if you were like looking at this from a perspective that dollars was the only thing, right? That the only kind of money, right? You would say, okay, right here, this has just gone too far, too fast. I'm out, man. It's dumping, man. It's gone. But look what it did, right? It went all the way to 266, right? Before it actually pulled back. And yeah, you'd never believe that this thing could have done that, right? But that's why I'm telling you, right? When we go back to our current time frame, right? It's still, we're like right here. We're at $50. Get it? We're at $50. No matter what, even if we come back to the 13 EMA, we're still basically at that level. So we could come all the way back to the 13 EMA or the 21 EMA, and yeah, Bitcoin is still in a rip-roaring bull market that's going a lot higher. And I know, but nobody was interested. But the problem is, right? Even though there is a point in time where I'm going to tell you, okay, forget it, right? You're too late, right? We're not too late yet. But when I was telling people to buy here, nobody was interested, right? Nobody wanted to go buy, put it in. Even if you bought it at 14,000 way back up here, you were still right. You were still right. Still way right. Up here. But you weren't interested to go all in here. You're not interested to go all in here. Because you would have been crying buying it at 14,000 and watching it go to 4,000. Thinking, oh my God, what did I do? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And just wait until, oh, look at that. Right? I made all kinds of money. And yeah, you could buy it up here. Right? You could buy it up here, and it could crash all the way down, right, to 40,000, right? But overall, once it's done that, right, we're seeing numbers. We're going to see numbers that are just unbelievable. Right? We're going to see, like, when it gets up to 200,000, like, look at this. This is going to look minuscule. Minuscule. And if it gets up to 500K, which is where Plan B's got it, Mark II. Look at that. Look what you had. Nothing. A big nothing burger. And there's more people to come. All right, I better get going. I got stuff to do. Man, that was a long rant.
Yes. So Mr. B,
so,
one hell of an answer, right there.
So yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Bitcoin doing its thing. You just have to wait. I mean, time is on your side. If you're looking to retire, right? Right. You're looking to retire one day, right, Inti?
Yes, of course.
So, right. And how old are you? What, 21?
Yes.
So, Let's just say you throw all your money into all your savings, everything that you got into Bitcoin. Your worst possible outcome is there's a bug in Bitcoin, and it dies. Okay, so what? You still have your whole work life ahead of you,
It's
right?
gonna hurt. I'm gonna cry. I tell you that much.
Yeah, you are, but you still have a lot of work life ahead of you. So it's worthwhile for you to go all in, balls to walls on this one, right? And because there's a high probability, extremely high probability, 99.99% probability that once you did go balls to walls, that you're going to be super rich. So why not take that bet?
This is so bad at all.
That's just my thinking, and so that's why. And I'm doing it, and I'm not, and I'm like more than 2.5 times your age. And I'm full balls to the walls on Bitcoin. Alrighty, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.
Goodbye, people.